But I saw The Long Walk last night. I know we need to start recording, but I got to talk to you about The Long Walk.
Okay, so do you agree with us that the ending is ass?
Yes. They should have murked his fucking ass the second he shot Mark Hamill.
Thank you.
But
Like, there's that, and then there's just the fact that, like, the switch at the end where Cooper Hoffman just stops was so goddamn forced to me.
yeah.
Like, it was just like, oh yeah, well, everybody's expecting him to be the winner, so we got to surprise everybody by making him not the winner, but we have no motivation. Like, he just stops, he just quits.
I always hoped that they both collapse together and die together. But
that would have been better.
Yeah.
Or a lot of things would have been better.
Yeah, I was about to say 8,000 other things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I did enjoy like the lead up and the graphicness of the violence and fucking. They should have shown more shit, but
well, they showed plenty of shit, all right.
Yeah, I was about
they
to say,
showed it, but I wanted more. Like when that dude he had to poop and they shot him in the head. We should have seen that poop just fly out of his asshole when that happened because
that was one of the scenes that stunned me the most when I was seeing it in the theater. I was like, God damn, okay, they're just showing this guy shit himself to death. That's pretty fucked.
I related to the Asian character chewing the gum the most, so his send off was sad. So
yeah, that's the thing is like a lot of the main characters did have like good send offs, and a lot of the deaths were like pretty cool. But like, I don't know, the writing was weird. And
I usually like JT Mulder too, so I don't know.
Yeah, Strange Darling was amazing, but I don't know. Mark Hamill was also a little over the top. For me. And sometimes it worked, and sometimes it just didn't.
If you want a better Mark Hamill, Stephen King performance, just check out Life of Chuck.
He's in Life of Chuck? Oh, shit.
Yeah. It's actually a pretty good movie. I liked it. Everyone was shitting on that movie, and I was like, it's not that bad. It actually kind of scared me at points.
That's like in my top 5 of movies I need to watch soon. So,
which one?
Life of Chuck.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's one of the best. That's one of the best movies of the year, right there.
Thank you. Okay, I was like, because that movie genuinely scared me, but not in like a jump scare way, but like in a wow, if this were to happen, I'd be deeply afraid.
Yeah.
Heard. Okay. Don't say I don't know anything else.
Okay.
Do you know anything about the plot whatsoever?
I know there's a musical number.
Oh yeah.
That's
it's not even a musical number.
No, it's just a dance number.
Yeah, it's a dance number.
Yeah, Tom Hiddleston.
That's all I
move.
So, and that everyone seems to hate it for some reason, except for y'all.
What?
Yeah, everyone does not like that movie.
Yeah, Jackson, I have unanimous hate for Life.
That's recently,
the last month and a half.
Yeah, in the last month and a half, they said you're either a Life of Chuck's son or an Ella McKay daughter.
Yeah,
and I was like, damn, because everyone hates Ella McKay, and I'm like, I still.
Well, that one I understand because I know everyone's shitting on that one, but Life of Chuck?
Variety doesn't mean shit, but Variety put Life of Chuck as the #1 worst movie of the year, and everyone's
Variety can suck a goddamn cock, is what they can do. Let's get this in the episode, by the way. I want this to be the cold open. Variety is the most piece of shit fucking. I mean, just fuck them. Fuck them. Of all the trades, I hate them all. Entertainment media is fucking just made up of a bunch of goddamn vampires. Like fucking, you know what their favorite movie probably was, or the least favorite movie was? Sinners, because they didn't like that Michael B. Jordan wouldn't let them in, because that's them. Fuckers. That's them. They're vampires. They can't be let inside. Fuck them. Life of Chuck is amazing. Variety can suck a cock.
All right. That is all I need to hear to go see that movie now.
It's on Hulu. Yeah.
Yes, it is on Hulu. So.
Fucking Variety, I swear to God.
I'm gonna take a 3-piece with the boss sauce.
Picture this.
And some macaroni and cheese.
You just ruined the fucking punchline.
I'm sorry.
Are you drinking paint today, Sam?
I'm drinking paint today.
That's the point.
That's the point, and that's what makes me so fucking mad about this goddamn movie. It's the point.
How do you hate this movie?
I don't think about him in this movie. He doesn't exist, that fuck. That fucking fuck.
I am still here for it.
Your co-host, Mr. Workman, will not be joining us this week.
Who the fuck has the goddamn gall to call his house on a Tuesday night? God damn it!
I want to miss it!
Oh, please, tell me something I don't know. I wait all week for the
3 for 3. Now that's really cool.
Welcome, one and all, to the latest episode, a very special episode of 343. I am your host this week, Jackson Workman, and I am joined, as always, by my two lovely chums, Mr. Samuel Holler and Mr. Matthew Patterson.
What up?
This is our first episode recorded in 2026, our first episode after the new year. And ladies and gentlemen, our mission to you, we have two missions this year. Our first is to bring you another year of the best content, the best podcast, the best movie discussions that we possibly can. And our second is to get a goddamn Voodoo Ranger sponsorship. Let's make it happen. Let's make it happen.
Let's just Photoshop Voodoo Ranger's logo on this can real quick.
Yes. We're not drinking them today, apparently, but normally...
Well, I have a can I guess I could show, but I can't drink it, so...
Right. But nevertheless, we're gonna make it happen. It's gonna happen one way or another. So, other than that, today we have a very special episode, a very bittersweet episode, a very sad episode, but because we are honoring the late, great legend Rob Reiner, who was recently taken from us about a month or so ago. And today we're going to honor his work, his legacy, and all kinds of shit. We have 3 of his movies that we've picked for you today. And I think, to start things off here, we're going to go ahead, since we were talking about it a little bit in the build-up, go ahead and start with my pick, which was A Few Good Men. And
we are just a few good men trying to spread the word of fuck Variety, fuck John Campea, and fuck the entire United Kingdom.
I think there's only like 2 good men in this movie.
So what?
I think there's only like 2 good men in this movie.
2 good men and 1 good woman.
Indeed.
That's about all we got here.
And James' giant fucking forehead.
Yes, I'm going to get into that in a minute, how many returning actors we got this episode. Almost every member of the main cast has been in a past pick.
And then one actor is in all 3 movies. And
yes,
jump up. In our...
One actor in this entered the Hall of Fame just in this episode just for being in all 3 movies. But we'll get there.
He's the main character in 1 and a guest star in 2.
Yep. But if you can, ladies and gentlemen, what I want you to do is, of course, picture this. Your name is Private First Class William T. Santiago. And you're a Marine stationed at Guantanamo Bay. And, well, to put it frankly, you kind of suck as a Marine. You're not very good at it. You're falling behind, you got asthma, and, all those guys down at Gitmo, you know what they're saying? They're quoting Lord of the Flies. They're saying, sucks to your Asmar. We don't give a shit. So, and just like, they don't like this kid. So he's trying to get transferred off the base. But what happens as he's trying to get transferred? Well, he gets fucking killed. You see, the Marines gave him something called a Code Red. Yes, R.I.P. to Santiago. And the Marines gave him something called a Code Red, you see, which is something Marines do. They basically, when you fuck up or you do something wrong, they punish you with a hazing ritual, and that's what a Code Red is. It's a little fucking crazy, but it's what they do. They're Marines. That's their code, And so basically, he dies from this Code Red. And there are 2 Marines who were accused of murdering him, Dawson and Downey. And allegedly, they killed him because he was going to reveal that Dawson shot at somebody over on the Cuban side of the border and all this stuff. So these guys need a goddamn good lawyer. So who do they call? Why, none other, as Benicio del Toro would say, than Tom fucking Cruise, god damn it. Tom Cruise, who's swinging his bat. There you go! I love it. Tom Cruise, who's swinging his bat, playing fucking softball, is a lawyer who's known for plea bargains. But he's going to take on his first real case inside of a courtroom. And he's going to defend these Marines, and he is going to fucking get them off.
And his set of steak knives, don't forget those.
Yes, if he gets one more plea bargain, he gets a free set of steak knives. Of course, which Demi Moore takes away from him. Because she's awful. No, she's great. She's the best. And yes, Tom Cruise is not going to do this by himself. He has help from, of course, the wonderful, legendary Miss Demi Moore, who is his co-counsel, Joanne Galloway, and from Mr. Kevin Pollak as Lieutenant One. Yes, and the three of them are all on the case. But there's just one problem, you see. The whole thing, not to give it away before I'm even done with the picture of this, the whole thing is a cover-up. Because you see, the commander of Guantanamo Bay, he ordered the code red, and they're going to try to prove it. But they can't prove it because he's a highly decorated colonel, Colonel Jessup, played by the one and only motherfucking GOAT, Jack goddamn Nicholson. He's the guy we got to beat this time around. And there are all kinds of other people. We got Kevin Bacon as the fucking lead prosecutor. We got
Planes, Trains.
Say what?
Returning after Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
Son of a bitch! I forgot. He was the only one who I was like, I don't think we've had him on before. But yes, okay. He was in Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. Yes, the entire main cast of this movie are all returning actors. We got Tom Cruise coming back from Mission Impossible 3 and his cameo in Austin Powers 3. We got Demi Moore coming back from The Substance and The Hunchback of Notre Dame. We got Kevin Pollak coming back from Ricochet and Whole Nine Yards. Wolfgang Bodison, who was in Freeway, he's coming back.
And Kiefer Sutherland.
And Kiefer Sutherland, who was in Freeway and Twin Peaks Fire Walk with Me. Which brings us, of course, to Mr. James Marshall with his big-ass five head. Coming back from both the Twin Peaks pilot and Fire Walk with Me. J.A. Preston, who we last saw in real life. And Jack Nicholson, we can't forget his little cameo in Head. So yes, pretty much.
Oh, I was like thinking, I was like, where did Jack Nicholson? Because I thought we hadn't had him yet. So.
His teeny tiny little background cameo in Head, okay. Yes.
Fair.
And yeah, so pretty much everybody in the main cast has been on the show before. And this is a goddamn just amazing, amazing movie. One of Rob Reiner's best. One of the greatest courtroom dramas of all time. Fantastic. Aaron Sorkin wrote the goddamn screenplay. I've said it many times already on this show. I've been watching The West Wing a lot lately. And I've been spoiled with too much Aaron Sorkin goodness in my life lately. This just gave me a little bit more. Boy, I ain't complaining about it. I ain't complaining about it one bit. Motherfucker is a god! Motherfucker, this is the first screenplay he ever wrote. God damn it. Can you imagine this being the first screenplay you ever wrote? Something this fucking good.
That's
goddamn. Amazing. And yeah, so just off the top, I'll let you guys take it away. But just off the top, I love this movie. This was my third time seeing it. It gets better every time I watch it. The craft of this thing is fucking insane. Rob Reiner directs the fuck out of it. I mean, the script is immaculate. The performances are incredible. Truly, it is just extraordinary. And I have some insights to share later on. Some special connections regarding this movie. But what did you both think?
I first off need to say shout out to Mark Scheiman returning after last week because he did Sleepless in Seattle and now he has composed the insane fuck the world style, or God, I forgot his name, but it doesn't matter, he's a terrorist. The South Park Bigger, Longer, and Uncut
Saddam Hussein.
Thank you. His big musical.
That's going to be really funny in the 2-year anniversary special. And the list of names Sam forgot, seeing Saddam Hussein on there. That's just going to be fucking.
I legit thought you were doing that on purpose, Sam. I thought you were like intentionally forgetting his name.
Oh no! That
was so fucking funny.
Right over my head. Wonderful composer. I love every single goddamn thing he does, especially his score for The American President. Side derailment on that. But. You know, and this is my Letterboxd review, but like, you ever fucking start a goddamn movie, and then 2 milliseconds into it, you have a sigh of relief, and you're like, God damn, I'm watching something good. Not only am I watching something good, I'm watching something fucking great. And that little feeling just picks you up and carries you throughout this whole movie. And then at the very end, throws you really far into the air for the final scene, and then wherever you land, you land. God damn, this movie is so fucking good for me. I have not seen it since 10th grade, or the summer before 10th grade, when my whole house flooded, and I had to live in an apartment, or a hotel for like, maybe 3 months, and I was texting Matt at that time. That's the only reason it clicked in my brain, but my mom watched it on the TV in the hotel, and it just like blew my mind then. but it never like was anything special because I was way younger, didn't really care, and was in and out of it. But this was an amazing rewatch that just is electric, and you feel everything everyone feels, even like Tom Cruise being drunk when he comes in the rain and he's all wet, and I'm like, yes, Demi Moore, you make me wet too, and I'm drunk, so let me you want to share the bottle, because I'll put Colonel Jessup on the stand from the get-go if it'll please you. Kevin Pollak, sorry, we have had numerous. This is like the 10th or 15th movie in the last like stretch of movies we've had where a character is named Sam, and it is very jarring, and it just like throws me out for a second, but then this one pulls me right back in. And you know what? It doesn't matter what his hotshot dad would have done. It's what matters what he does, and he does the right thing. So,
real quick, I also forgot to mention J.T. Walsh, who's fucking phenomenal.
Walsh, yes,
extremely underrated actor.
Yep.
Tons. Noah Wiley. Fucking
yeah, Matt, your review spoke to me so much because literally I kept getting fucking jump scared by all the people who were showing up. Like, this is my third time watching this, and I did not remember Cuba Gooding Jr. or Christopher Guest being in this movie. When Cuba Gooding Jr. showed up, I was like, what the fuck? It took me so off guard.
Honestly, after this, we'll get to it, but we should start expecting Christopher Guest in all, like, I was like, this, honestly.
I don't know.
I forgot about him in the other two, that wasn't Spinal Tap.
Yeah.
I legit forgot about him in both movies.
I've seen the movie that's behind your shoulder numerous times, and I've never known that was Christopher Guest.
Yep. I mean, I just don't, But anyways, so I've seen this movie, like, I saw it quite a few times as a kid before I even knew what the fuck was going on, because, like you said, Sam, like, your parents were watching it. My parents would watch it, or my friends' parents would be having it on. And the one thing that always got me was this is one of the first times in a movie, again, I was very young, that I'd ever seen somebody kill themselves. Like that scene where he, dresses up and does that. And I remember having to ask what the fuck he was doing. Like, I was like, what did he do? And they're like, oh, he committed suicide. And I was like, why? Why did he get dressed up like that? Like, why? I'm so confused. And they had to literally explain, like, he did something bad. He got somebody killed. He felt bad about it. And then he killed himself because he couldn't do it, couldn't really do anything at that point. And I was like, damn, that's so sad. And I just remember this movie being pretty much how I understood what suicide was. But yeah.
You can't handle the truth.
I know. And I've seen it a couple times over the course of the few years. I would say this is the time I've understood it the most, like, completely.
You fucked with the wrong Marine.
Because, like, goddamn, is this such a well-crafted movie? Up and down the line. Everyone's bringing it their all, from the writing to the acting to the directing. And having seen all three movies, just being like that Rob Reiner can just do this. He can just do basically whatever he wants. He can hop into whatever genre he wants, and he's not, like, imposing his own certain quirkiness onto it because he's just making a movie. I was like, hell yeah, That's how I felt the whole time. I was like, if you hadn't put Rob Reiner on this, that would have been my first guess. I would have been like, this is a Rob Reiner movie until Christopher Guest shows up. But yeah, like all the jump scares, the intensity of it, the fact that, like, if you really hadn't seen the movie, you would not be sure if they're going to win the case or not. Like, you'd think maybe, at first you're like, okay, they're definitely going to win because that's the movie. But then near the end, you would kind of get, like, unsure. Like, if I hadn't known, I probably would have been just as on my head, on the edge of my seat. And I still kind of was, though, because I didn't quite remember all the intricacies of it. So it was nice to kind of watch that play out again. And yeah, I mean, like, just powerhouse performances from everybody. I don't know who the guy who played, not James Marshall, but the other guy, the other Marine. Yeah. He was fucking great. Like, I forgot how good he was in every scene he's in. And
that line that Tom Cruise tells him at the end, you don't need to have a badge on your arm to have honor, is like one of the hardest fucking lines to ever exist.
Also, one of the hardest moments is when he's like, what happened to saluting an officer when he leaves a room? Him just standing up and putting his hands in his pocket. I remember the first time watching it being like, fuck.
Yeah. And then you get the payoff for that at the end when he finally does salute him without being prompted.
And
Okay.
his delivery of the line, like, I get paid whether you go to jail or not. Yes, sir. I know you do, sir. I'm just like, ooh, like, dude is so good.
And James being like, "We did nothing wrong," and he's like, "Yes, we did. We had to stand up for those who couldn't take care of themselves. We should have stood up for Willie." And I'm just,
Yeah.
oof.
So I'll just go ahead and say I have several connections to this movie that I'll get out of the way first. One is one of my very, very, very earliest memories of Mr. Matthew Patterson was in my sophomore year of high school. I had just gotten to Northwest, the school we had all gone to. This was in 2012, so quite a while ago at this point. And one of my earliest memories in our theater class was Matt reading the "You Can't Handle the Truth" monologue. We were all reading stuff, and he did that one. And that was my very first, not only one of my earliest memories of you, Matt, but also the first time I'd ever heard of A Few Good Men. I'd never heard of it before then, and I was like, oh, okay. And I went not long after that, I think, and watched the movie. And when that scene came up, I was like, aha, yes, I remember this from theater class. So it's a special connection in that sense. And then also, I have done the play before. Back in 2019, I did a production of it where I played Colonel Jessup. And so that was interesting. All of like, it's funny because it's been a while now since I did it. So there were like a lot of lines where I was like, oh, I remember this line, or I remember that line. All of Jessup's lines I remember, like as he was saying them, they were coming back to me, and I was like, aha, yeah, I remember his a lot better because I had to say them and stuff. And yeah, it's funny because having done the play, the movie to me is much better than the play, because the play to me is basically like it's a first draft version of the script. It was Aaron Sorkin's, like, I think first play that he wrote. And it's great. I mean, it's a Sorkin script, so obviously it's going to be great. But there are a lot of things where it feels unfinished because, Sam, the thing you were just talking about, that last scene where he's like, we did nothing wrong, and like, yeah, we did. We were supposed to stand up for people like Willie. That part is not in the play. Like, the play just ends with, like, Downey just saying, like, we didn't do anything wrong, and, like, that's it. You know? And I remember doing the play and being like, where the fuck is that scene? I'm like, that's the entire goddamn point of the fucking movie, is they realize in the end, like, they didn't do what they were supposed to do as Marines. They were way too obsessed with the code instead of, like, actually doing what was right and honorable and shit. And that's the lesson they have to learn. So I remember, like, that really pissed me off about the play. So I was like, they had the fucking common sense to fix that for the movie. And, you know, there are a lot of other things that the movie adds to. It's pretty close to the play mostly, but, like, there are plenty of things that they add and, you know, that make it a lot better. And I just got to say about the movie itself, Rob Reiner, you know, I think at this point it's fair to say, having seen 3 of his movies this week for this show, he's one of the all-time greats. I think so. I mean, I think he should have been, while he was alive, in that conversation a bit more. You know, I'm glad he's being talked about in that way now, because, like, you look at this movie, first of all, is so incredible and is so well directed. And this is a common theme we're going to find through all 3 of the movies we're going to talk about. This motherfucker had no ego. Like, none. I mean, he just was not interested in, like, a style and putting his distinctive, like, stylistic or visual stamp on it the way you see with so many other people. He was just like, what is the best thing required for this scene? You know? Like, I don't give a like, whatever this scene needs to be as good as it can be, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm not interested in any kind of ego or auteur bullshit. I'm just gonna make this as good as it can be. And that's what he did with every single movie he ever directed. Every shot in this, every fucking edit, every transition, every just, like, close-up, zoom in, everything that happens in this film is exactly right. I mean, it's just so meticulously staged. But it also just doesn't feel meticulous at all, if that makes sense. It just feels like he's just, I don't know. It's amazing because I'm just like, that's just for starters. Second of all, like I said, script is brilliant. Sorkin is a fucking god. Just all the dialogue just crackles, as all his dialogue does. The performances, Tom Cruise, one of my favorite performances of all time from him. Bro is such a good actor. He's seen as like a movie star and as an action star. Bro is a goddamn amazing actor. However crazy he may be, with Scientology and all that shit. Jack Nicholson is god tier in this movie. I mean, I was watching it again this time and just like, this motherfucker is goated. I can't even believe how good this guy. Like, he's so good. Demi Moore is fantastic. Say what?
His teeth upset me because they're so perfect, and he just is flaunting them every time because he's smiling with that fucking gross ass menacing smile.
Yeah.
Nothing's better than the feeling of getting head from a superior officer. I guess the only way I'm gonna get that is if they had like the female president. Like, fuck you.
I swear to God. Because, okay, so watching The West Wing, the thing that I never realized about Aaron Sorkin that show made me realize, and reaffirmed again in this movie, is how goddamn funny he can be. Like, just the little, like, quips that just make me just fall back in my chair laughing. Like, of course, I'm a colonel, so I'll just have to keep taking cold showers till they elect some gal president. It's like, fucking hell, man. He's
as
so
fucked
good.
as that he is pro-female president. But...
Yeah.
I feel like Jack Nicholson's character in this and Sean Penn's character in One Battle After Another would get along really well.
They really would, yeah.
They make you kind of like think that Kevin Bacon's also super fucking schmuck, and he is, but like he's just trying to do what's right, and he's
doing his own job.
Yeah, he picked his own battles, and he picked the wrong battle, but he
says don't lock me in with Jessup and the rest of them. I'm not like them, and all of that. So
I did like when he.
Go ahead.
I like the scene when he was talking to Tom Cruise, like just after he's playing basketball, and he was like telling him how kind of like shitty a position he was in. He's like, everyone looped you into this, and I practically dared you, And I was like, yeah, I was like, damn, everyone really did like kind of force Tom Cruise to take this.
It was one of the hardest lines in the movie. You got bullied into that courtroom by the memory of a dead lawyer, and then just him standing up. You're a lousy fucking softball player, Jack. It was just such a great exchange.
Yep.
And everybody down to like Kevin Pollak, Kiefer Sutherland, J.T. Walsh, J.A. Preston as the judge. One of my favorite lines in the movie when Nicholson's like, I don't know what the hell kind of show you're running here. Like, I prefer to be addressed as Colonel or Sir. I believe I've earned it. I don't know what kind of shit show you're running here. And the judge is like, and you will address this court as Judge or Your Honor. I'm quite certain I've earned it. I'm just like, such a great little, I love that. Like, everybody gets a moment, Everybody gets a moment to, like, shine. And it's so great. And, man, I'm telling you, I will never forget watching this for the first time. And the You Can't Handle the Truth scene is one of the greatest monologues in film history, no question about it. But then that moment, I'll never forget when he's like, did you order the code red? And Nicholson just screams, you're goddamn right I did. Like, I remember just being like, holy shit. That was one of the biggest holy shit moments of all time, where I was just like, oh my God, he did it. Yep. He got him to confess it, Like, just to your point earlier, Matt, about if you don't know what's going to happen, like you're on the edge of your seat. That just was like, oh my God, the first time not knowing what was going to happen.
I had a waitress say the same thing to me once.
That came out of nowhere.
New advertisement.
Oh, man.
I don't know why Mountain Dew never used that scene.
It's a good question.
I don't know.
Yeah, it is a good point.
Like, God, and then just slams down a code red. Mountain Dew code red.
It took me a minute to get it.
It just means we got to make that advertisement. It's gonna be like the Mesa Cristal moments where it's edited into the movie that but without having the commercial break.
Yeah.
You know about this, Jackson?
So what?
In Mexico, they edit things into the movies so you don't have any commercial breaks. So like Obi-Wan opening the box with his Luke's lightsaber, he like turns and it's a beer, and he's like, and then it's the quick cut, and then it cuts back to the scene where he hands him the lightsaber and stuff like that.
That's hilarious.
We'll just have the quick cut of the code.
We got to do our version of that. We got to do our version of that. But yeah, again, I don't know. I think again, like, such a solid story, such great characters down to the smallest person. You really relate so much to Caffey, to Galloway, to Weinberg. Like, Sam Weinberg, Kevin Pollak, just one of the best fucking most underrated characters in the movie because I love his little arc of just like, you know, fucking it's so clear and they don't hammer it in, which is what I love. It's just so clear from just the subtlety of the writing. You can tell he was a little kid who got beat up by like bigger kids a lot of the time, and that's why he fucking hates these guys. And he hates that they tortured this weaker, younger kid, you know, and all this kind of stuff. And like you get his whole backstory and why he doesn't like them just through like the subtlety of the writing, and it's so brilliant to me. And also a great story I have to share. Wonderful. Rob Reiner, you know, God bless him. He was so supportive of, you know, not only just like creativity over commerce, but also just like supporting the artists who worked for him. You know, he helped Frank Darabont a lot out on the Shawshank Redemption because his company Castle Rock produced that movie.
Wow.
And he helped Sorkin out on this one too because the studio executives really wanted Tom Cruise and Demi Moore to have a romantic relationship. They wanted to put a sex scene in there between them. And Sorkin didn't want to do it, but this was his first movie, so he felt pressure. And Rob Reiner really like backed him up and, you know, was just like, no, we're not going to do that. We're going to keep it the way it is. And one of my favorite exchanges is one of the studio executives asked Sorkin, if Demi Moore isn't going to fuck Tom Cruise, why is Demi Moore's character a woman? And Aaron Sorkin said, because women have other purposes besides sleeping with Tom Cruise, you know? And I'm just like, yeah.
Yeah, Aaron Sorkin.
Literally. And Rob Reiner backed him up hardcore on that. Yeah, so again, Rob Reiner was a great, you know, supporter of the people he worked with. That's, you know, for sure. And
lest we not forget, Aaron Sorkin, though, was caught in an airport with shrooms, weed, and crack.
Was he actually?
Yeah, legit. Did you not know he was like on
crack
and stuff? Yeah, during West Wing.
I knew he used to do drugs. I didn't know he did crack.
Yep, during the West Wing, no less.
Oh, that's.
Oh boy, I'm gonna have to look that up.
Yeah, I know. In the airport, by the way, trying to take it through like security.
I knew he used to do cocaine. I didn't know he did.
Yeah, I think it was actually cocaine, crack, and shrooms.
Wow.
The shrooms was to level them out.
Yeah, the shrooms are to level you out. They're to come.
Yeah, of course.
Bring you down to earth.
Of course. But yeah, no, and this was yeah, I mean just everything, it's just an immaculate fucking production from top to fucking bottom. I mean just every aspect of this film on every level. I was watching it and I was thinking like literally on every level, every department just fucking knocked this out of the park, did their job, 10 out of 10. I mean just everybody like and fucking you said it earlier, Sam. I forgot how fucking amazing Mark Scheinman's score was.
Oh yeah,
movie. I was like, man, he's killing it on this one. And Robert Richardson, that motherfucker can shoot anything and it'll look gorgeous. Oh my god, I forgot he shot this movie. I was watching it.
Opening with the like guns, like and how that all like is played out is very. It made me almost sick hearing all those like sounds. Just
great sound design as well.
So.
Yeah, and just every fucking everybody, just and again, just such strong, relatable characters, such a great message of like, you know, you don't have to have a badge on your arm to have honor, and you know, it's more important to do what you think is right than to follow the code, and you know, all that kind of stuff. So I also love just one last thing I'll say, a little subtle touch. I don't even know if Rob Reiner did it on purpose, but it wouldn't shock me if he did. I love how when they're reading the verdict, it's like, okay, for the charge of murder, and it's focused on Tom Cruise, not guilty. And then it focuses on Demi Moore. For the charge of conspiracy to commit murder, not guilty. And then it fucking focuses on Kevin Pollak, and it says, for conduct unbecoming a Marine, guilty as charged. That was his big thing that he didn't like them for, you know, was what they did to the kid and how it wasn't right and everything in their conduct. And I don't know, something about that, I was just like, I don't know if he did that on purpose, but it wouldn't shock me if because I was like, God damn it, that's so brilliant. I love that.
Being in the foreground the whole time, and we're just getting closer and closer to their reactions even.
Yeah. But, I mean, I was like, that, Rob, you know, you killed it on that one. Mm-hmm. And another story I got to share is just the fact that Jack Nicholson apparently on this movie was just like as god tier as you can imagine, like just off camera. Like he apparently did the day they shot the You Can't Handle the Truth scene. They did his entire. He did it for everybody off camera first before they got to his coverage. Because Rob Reiner was like, which one do you want to do? Do you want to do your coverage first, or do you want me to get the reaction shots first and then get to you? And he was like, oh, why don't you get everybody else first? It'll let me warm up, you know? And so he shot everybody else's reaction shots in the courtroom, and he said every single time that Jack did it off camera, it was exactly the way you see it in the movie. Like, exactly the same level, like letter perfect. And he said, like, after about 3 times, he went over to him, he's like, hey, Jack, you maybe want to, like, save it a little for when it's your turn. And, you know, Jack was like, Rob, you don't understand. I love to act. I don't get a chance to do a great part like this that often. And he just kept on. And then when they finally got to him, it was exactly the same. And I was just like, what a goddamn pro. Shout out to Jack.
Doing what he needed to do.
Mm-hmm. But phenomenal film. Any final thoughts?
I think it just is one of those movies that are like unwrittenly timeless, because like you could watch this at any point. It could take place in the 50s, it could take place in the 80s, it could take place in the 90s. Well, I guess not 50s, maybe a little later, because you got to deal with the Cubans.
Guantanamo Bay wasn't
But it goes so hard from the get-go and does not let down. Even though it's a very calm and quiet and kind of like methodically moving kind of movie, it does not let down. You know the stakes, and they're very present in every single scene. So, I don't know. The more I sit on it, the more Kevin Bacon's role really stood out to me, and the level of respect he showed, and when he lost the case, he didn't fight. He knew what was wrong, and he accepted it. So,
yeah. And one last thing I'll say, I know this is my 3rd time saying that, but I love this movie, so I just keep thinking of things to say. But I just know, like, there were little things having done the play that I remembered from the play script that they modified for the movie, where I'm just like, again, like, I had to assume that was Rob coming in to, like, just make that little adjustment, because he's like, I think this is just, let me just make this little tweak to the play script and just make it more kind of what the scene needs. That scene after Tom Cruise, which is a goddamn phenomenal scene in the movie, where he is drunk and he's yelling at Demi Moore and everything. I mean, the fucking acting from Tom Cruise and just the tension and everything is incredible. But that scene after she leaves and he's sitting there talking about his dad and everything, in the play he goes a little bit more into, like, you know, his father and like how he died young, and just kind of going a little bit more into that and stuff. And they cut a lot of that out, and I do think that was like I like the way they, like, throughout the movie, the father thing is not beaten into your head. You just get it, you know? They have just enough in the script. You get how complex his relationship with his dad is, and how scared he is of trying to live up to his legacy without them kind of shoving it in your face and beating you over the head with it. And I just am like, just the little adjustments that they made to the script, I think it makes it kind of more impactful in that way. It's a lot subtler. So, yeah, phenomenal movie. Wonderful, wonderful film. Just gets better every time I see it, like I said. And yeah, I'm glad we rewatched it for this. But now, we must move on. And where do we move on to? Well, boys, I think now it is time for a little rock and roll in our lives.
Ooh, all right.
Because this, ladies and gentlemen, is Spinal Tap.
Shit.
So that's where we're going next. There you go. The directorial debut of Mr. Rob Reiner.
Yeah, fuck you, Matt. Me with my pleb copies, and you got 2 Criterions. Fuck you.
And this was Mr. Holler's pick, so go ahead and take it away, my good sir.
So
pick it up to 11.
Oh, we're cranking it up to an 11, and not only that, we're going to a full-on 12 at this point.
Wait, why don't we just make 10 like better?
It goes to 11, motherfucker. That's all it does. But yes, let me not spill my drink. Picture this. You are my dad, fucking 15 years ago, trying to introduce me and my brother to rock and roll music and finding fun ways to do it, like showing us Kiss and AC/DC and Anvil and other small little... Specifically Anvil is the one I'm trying to get to. because that is a story of genuine genuine rock and rollers who struggled their entire lives to get seen and play on stage, much like the plot of this movie, where Tap, the fucking goats, we got Christopher Guest, we got fucking Michael goddamn McKean,
What a sick joke!
who after numerous fucking years of witnessing him never clicked who he was until I saw Better Call Saul. And then now that I've gone back and seen so many things, like Best in Show and all that kind of stuff, like, oh, well, I guess it's then all in the same family. But you're a fucking good ass goddamn actor. And so you follow the band, and we get Rob Reiner in this mockumentary, because mockumentaries seem to be my specialty this season. On camera, goated fucking experience seeing Rob Reiner act with such charisma and also looks so young. And then I don't think you've seen it, Jackson, but later watching the second one, seeing him so old, as this is his first movie, and nothing's gonna go right. It's the fucking 80s. You're a goddamn hair metal band that wants to piss off as many people, especially when you want to put your lick my love pump, or you want to as what's the word, flesh tuxedo with my pink torpedo. So you get some wild fucking lyrics. But not only that, you have so many fucking people coming in with the charisma, the like just energy. You got Tony Hedra as their manager. You get Bruno Kirby for a very small part that just is fucking wild. Numerous cameos. Fucking Billy Crystal as a mime was one of my favorite, because my favorite line in this movie is "Mime is money." But yeah, you're just going on tour with Spinal Tap, trying to help them get some exposure, trying to understand what makes them tick, because there's a lot of fucking things that really fucking irk some of these people, and you just don't really know it until they're really fucked up and on stage. You have the classic mishap of promising a big show, and then lo and behold, the fucking Stonehenge things are up to my waist, and even the little people look like normal people against that one. But it's a Rob. It's a fucking Rob. I can't think of the name of the bass player. I love him though. Thank you. I was gonna call him Lenny because he has that fucking giant mustache with the mutton chops and everything. And you see them young. You see them at their best. You see them at their worst. Until you watch the sequel, and then you see them at their worst, and you see them at a little bit of their best, but mostly their worst.
Mainly at their worst.
Mainly their worst. So, this was another rewatch, because I saw this numerous years ago, and I had not seen it since I was a really young kid, but I just knew the black cover, and I knew that this goes to 11 and all that kind of stuff. But I hope y'all liked it.
Matt.
Oh yeah, I mean I've seen this a lot. I saw this when it came, or when they dropped the 4K of it before the second one came out, and then I never went and saw the second one like I'd intended to. But I did watch it last night, just chilling through it on. But yeah, I mean this one really is a classic. Like it's one of those that I think every about 10 or so years people like bring up and start remembering again, and then it kind of goes back into just being in its own ether. But I feel like that it goes to 11 was something I had known well before I saw the movie as a kid. And then when you see it, because you think like, I always thought like, oh, it's a cool thing, like it goes to 11. And then when you see it in the movie, he's like literally poking holes in the logic. He's just like, it could just go to, you can make 10 louder, and he's like, but these go to 11. Like that's just his fucking response. I'm just like, oh, like, because this movie, much like we'll talk about in Princess Bride, takes itself super seriously, while also just having the driest jokes that don't call attention to themselves. Like you have to be paying attention to get the joke, because if you weren't, or if you don't get that humor too, like I could not imagine somebody who does not get dry humor taking this dead ass seriously and being like, this is I'm sure people did at the time.
It
too,
happened a lot when it came out, yeah.
because it was so like, and the music is actually not bad. Like,
Oh, I love the music. It's
yeah,
exactly the
I
type
was
of
low
music
key
I love.
bopping to the music a little bit.
that's why I cannot wait. Andrew has to send me my Spinal Tap record, but I cannot wait to listen to that. And I'm mad I don't have it for back here. But
Is it just a
yeah,
black cover, or does it
yeah,
say
it's
this?
black. It's the black cover. On
Uh,
the side, it just says Spinal Tap. Doesn't even say this is
okay.
Spinal Tap. Just yeah, I was like,
Oh,
okay.
yeah.
And
Gotta
yeah,
find a rare variant with the woman biting the glove.
I I haven't opened it because it's sealed. I hope that it's one of those things you open, then it's the one biting the glove in the middle. But
Yeah.
I could be wrong, But either way, yeah, I just have such a good time with this movie. Um, I don't know why this time when they're yelling at the hotel guy, and I think they call him like a name or something like that, and the hotel manager's like, "God made me the way I am." I don't know why that one got me like this time. I was like, okay. But there's just so many like quick one-liner jokes that just happen, and you're like, just makes you laugh. And like you said, Sam, Bruno Kirby and Billy Crystal, they come in and just nail it for their small scenes. And I don't know
Fran
if this
Drescher too.
Fran Drescher, yep. But I don't know if this scene's in the movie because I can't for the life of me remember, or if this is just a deleted scene where like he's talking to Bruno Kirby, I think, and Billy Crystal's just miming the whole time. And he's like, "Why won't you fucking talk to me?" Because he knows he can talk. And I can't remember what the fucking line is, but it was just so funny because literally Bruno Kirby's like getting pissed off that he won't actually talk to him. Billy Crystal's just miming back to him.
Because mime is money.
Yep. But yeah, I don't know.
Just show me the scene where Billy Crystal mimes Nancy Reagan, and I will give you $1 million.
Oh my god. Yeah, so this was my there you go. This was my first time seeing this one. This is a bucket list movie for me for a really long time. Don't know why it took me so long to get to it. Because it was kind of the last like big Rob Reiner movie that I hadn't seen yet, like from his golden era. So I was like, all right, now I've finally seen them all, and this was his first movie. That's the crazy thing, like the fact that he made something so iconic with his first movie, it just fucking wow. But yeah, so I watched it, and man, I was laughing the whole fucking way through this thing. I just, there was so many parts of it where I was just like you said, these little kind of lines that just kind of took you off guard, where I'm just like, what the fuck? Like them talking about the drummers and everything, and them talking about like the scene in the hotel, the scene in the fucking Stonehenge bit sent me. Like that whole thing, just when they lower it down onto the stage, I was fucking dying. And also for whatever reason, that the two that got me the most were that and the scene where I think it was Christopher Guest, I can't remember who it was like playing the guitar on stage, and he falls back, and the stagehand has to come up off the floor. That shit fucking annihilated me. I was like, this is fucking hilarious. But
for me, the one that got me was the one where they're all coming out of the pods, and they can't get. I can't remember the other guy's name.
Harry Shearer, yeah.
Out of the pod, and then he finally gets out, and you think like, okay, it's just gonna be the gag where he doesn't. And then he tries to go back in, but it closes on him, and he sticks his arm out and gets it caught in the freaking thing. I was like, okay,
it's funny because he finally
all the way to the end.
He finally gets out just as the other guys go back in, and then he tries to get back in, and he can't. Like the rhythm of that scene was just so funny.
Joke for me was them calling Chapel Hill a fucking dumb school state. Or I was like, oh god damn.
And then just the little gags, like every time they have like a marquee or whatever, it's like puppet show and Spinal Tap. Like that was killing me too. Like they were second billed. And yeah, it was really funny. I don't think maybe it like resonated with me as much as it does with certain other people. Like, but I think the reason why is because like if you are super into like music and rock bands specifically, yeah, this movie is like everything, because you get it and you get what it's about and you understand. And so for me, it didn't quite connect on that level, but it was still really goddamn funny. I was laughing the whole way through it. I thought it was a great time just watching these three idiots just act like complete morons. I love the gag where he's showing him the guitars, and he's like, "No, you can't look at that one. You can't even point at that one." It's like, don't even point at it, and that whole thing. And yeah, Rob Reiner just being kind of the straight man in the act of just like the director, him talking to the guy in the bathtub, like, "Are you worried that you're gonna die? All the drummers have died and everything." Just really, like you said, Matt, kind of dry, subtle humor and everything that was really funny. And then so many jump scares. I can't even the number. Bruno Kirby, Fran Drescher, Billy Crystal, Angelica Houston for some goddamn reason, Paul Schaefer, all these fucking people just showing up. Apparently Dana Carvey was one of the mimes. Like, I didn't even recognize him in the movie. And all these people kept showing up, and I'm like, what the fuck are all these people doing here? Fran Drescher was maybe one of my favorite parts of the movie. Her two scenes were just like really, really funny. Like, just, you don't think that's offensive? That album cover. It was really, that whole scene was hilarious. And
she comes back in the sequel and has an equally great scene.
That's good.
I was about to say, I did find it. I got to show you guys this since we're talking about the mime scenes and stuff. Let me make sure my volume is all the way up.
One man, fucking women with a period shit.
I love Bruno Kirby's voice.
I can't hear it.
Oh, he's miming.
Oh. His name is Mr. Iron Fate. He's the manager for the rock group Spinal Tap. You know what that is? Right, the rock group. Tell him that Mr. Pesquera is downstairs in the lobby. And I'll be waiting for them downstairs, all right? Will you do that for me like a good fella? I'm a fucking servant? Jesus.
Why didn't you keep that in the movie?
Why did they cut that out? Jesus Christ.
I don't know. It
the funniest scenes in the movie, they cut it out.
Yep.
Wow. But, yeah, I also like, again, it's been talked about a lot, how influential this movie was, how it was the thing that kind of popularized the mockumentary and, was very influential in that sense, but it also kind of kick-started the whole Christopher Guest, because he didn't direct this one, but he obviously went on to do many more mockumentaries himself after this, and, a lot of another jump scare, Fred Willard, towards the end, who just in his teeny tiny little part had one of the funniest, because that motherfucker, also rest in peace, was a goddamn ringer. Every single thing he could only be in one scene, and he was a goddamn ringer. Just like, oh yeah, I'm getting a little shaggy in the back here myself. I could look like you guys. I'm kidding, of course. Just his like straight laced delivery is so funny. But and also just like so watching them kind of do their thing this early on, like before waiting for Guffman and Best in Show and all those, was kind of cool. And I also got to say, some of the all-time most convincing British accents I have ever fucking heard from people who are not British. It is actually crazy. And Christopher Guest is great. Harry Shearer is great. This kind of low-key changed the way I see Michael McKean now. Like,
literally.
Because no matter what I see him in, I don't care what it is, I always see him as Chuck McGill. Like that's the first thing I think of. Watching him in this now, I'm like, oh my god! Like I've never seen him do anything like this before.
Yeah, how like the yellow of his teeth matched the yellow of his hair, which in one scene also matched the yellow of his jacket, and I was just like, oh, you're. Ugh.
It's fucking wild because he's usually so not just in Better Call Saul, but in real life as well. He's so fucking like erudite and soft and like well spoken. And then just seeing him be just a complete fucking blithering idiot in this was just so different. And I'm like, wow, like he's got a lot of range. But yeah, he was fucking hilarious. Everybody, Tony Hendra was fucking great as the manager. Everybody just did their job so well. And this was just...
You didn't mention Ed Begley Jr. returning from Cat People.
Yep, as the ill-fated drummer. But
you haven't seen
who
the second
also,
one, right?
of course, say what?
You haven't seen the second one, right?
No, not yet.
Okay.
I'm going to watch it as part of... I'm about to start my 2025 year-end catch-up, so that's going to be on there. So I'm interested... Because I watched the trailer, and I'm like, this looks kind of cringy. Like, they kind of... I hope it's better than it looked from the trailer.
It's really fun. I just think it needs an extra 15 minutes of, like, true send-off. There's no actual, like, send-off.
Yeah.
Well, apparently they were planning on doing another one, but now they can't, of course.
Yeah.
So,
unless Christopher Guest directs it.
Very possible.
Yeah.
But
I will say this: I understand why he's with Jamie Lee Curtis now, or why she's with him.
That is one of the weirdest fucking couples. Every time I think about the fact that they're married, it just weirds me the fuck out.
I mean, imagine her seeing him in like this, and then a Princess Bride, and I'm sure he's done other shit after that. But like, I don't know when they got married either. But I'm assuming it was kind of like Homeboy was killing it.
Yeah,
Like,
he was
but
putting
he
in
was on
work.
SNL too.
Well, and that's the thing too. Like all three of these movies, in like less than 24 hours, I saw Christopher Guest on my TV 3 different times.
They
I
married
really
in
wasn't expecting him to
1984.
be a good man.
And
Shit.
every time, I was like, he's a completely different person in every movie. Bro's a chameleon. I never realized how much of a chameleon he is. I'm like, honest to God, if I didn't know who he was, I wouldn't have even known that all three of those people were played by the same actor. Like, the only reason I know is just because I know who he is. Because, like, they're all so fucking different. It's crazy.
They got married the year this came out, so
Oh.
she dealt with him at this point.
Okay. I mean, still, like, she knew, like, due to this,
She was like, he has a future ahead of him. Let me hop on that.
Yeah.
Yep. She had just done Trading Places at this time, so they were both doing pretty well.
That's what he saw.
That was his motivation. But yeah, and also just fucking I completely forgot what I was about to say. Wow, that thought just left my head.
Just wild though. Everyone giving it their all for such a low like quality, not quality, but like you could tell that this was like sort of filmed in the same location for almost every scene, but like they make the most out of it, and the sets are changing, and like even though they didn't film in Tokyo, you can feel the fucking vibes of being in Tokyo when they're going crazy. And
So I want to put this out there because we did talk about this. I'm 90% sure that Real Life came out like a year or two before this.
5 years before.
5 years before this. And I was thinking about picking for my pick the Defending Your Life Albert Brooks documentary that Rob Reiner did.
You mean the one where it's which
Defending
one?
Your Life, the Albert Brooks documentary.
Oh,
it came out.
It's called Defending My Life. My bad, not Defending Your Life, but
Gotcha.
it's just the Albert Brooks movie. But it's also directed by Rob Reiner, and they were really good friends.
Is that the one that they did a couple of years ago?
Mhm.
Okay,
It's really
yeah,
good,
because
dude.
because a lot of it, from what I've heard, is them just kind of sitting in a restaurant and talking about their friendship and everything, and I'd like to see that. Yeah,
That's why I thought about choosing it because it really is just as much about Rob Reiner as it is about Albert Brooks because they're such good friends. But I felt like I didn't want to take away from Rob Reiner too much. But yeah, just like knowing that, it's like I can see the influence, but also like I feel like Real Life was way different than this. This was like a league of its own, and that's what took the mockumentary to, I think.
well, that's the thing that I'll say is, people have said that this movie invented the mockumentary genre, and it didn't. Real Life came out 5 years before this, but this is the one that took it to like the mainstream and made it like, that popularized it and made it like, okay, and this is the template we're gonna follow going forward. Like when Christopher Guest started doing his, this was the template he followed, and all the ones that came after this was their inspiration. So highly, highly influential, obviously.
Yep.
And also just a fucking hilarious movie.
Yeah, it's so funny. You can tell, like, it feels like they didn't even try to make it funny, and it just is. But, like, you have to have thought of some of these things, because it's just so well witty and put together, and everything kind of, like, all influences it, and everyone's reactions to
Well, I
what
don't
they
know
have
if
lived
there's
the
bloopers,
entire
because I
movie,
haven't
apparently.
seen any of the bloopers ever. I don't know if there is bloopers they released or something like that, but I would love to just see them like cracking up, like
Yeah.
saying.
Oh, I'm sure there are plenty of takes of them losing it. Yeah. And also Harry Shearer with the fucking zucchini in his pants.
That was such a good visual gag.
Goddamn
Another
hilarious.
scene, once again, where TSA stops the lead person because of some fucking bullshit that they have in their shit.
Mhm.
Well, it's funny. When I was going through TSA coming back from Florida, I had to grab my balls. I'm not even kidding. The dude was like, he showed me the freaking like image, and it said like there was something in my like around my crotch area. It was like red, and I was like,
It's all the
my
microplastics in your
zipper?
balls.
So
And
I'm
he,
gonna
like-
have to ask you to grab your balls, please.
well, it was definitely the machine being a pervert because the person behind me, a woman, also had the same area highlighted. Yeah.
Wow.
So I was like, and I heard them say, "Hey, are you gonna come fix our machine soon?" And I'm like, "Are they having to grab everyone's balls because of this machine?" Or, private parts.
Yes.
I was like, what? He didn't
That's
like
obviously a lie. Oh yeah, our machine's broken. Grab your balls. It's because our machine's broken.
He technically ran the back of his hand over it, but I was just like,
Hey, at least you got touched.
I guess Florida.
Only in Florida.
Yeah. But no, it's a
Yeah.
fun movie. I really enjoy it, and it's something that I can just also like. Few Good Men is very timeless. We're watching it now, and we're still getting fucking extreme enjoyment out of it. And that's something that I think Rob Reiner really did well, was just fucking lightning bolt capture this moment and then dip out, because until the sequel, because the sequel was his first sequel to anything he's ever made. But I think this one, out of everything else he made, it's a justified sequel. And I think you should watch it, Jackson. Even though it's like most of the time it's like, oh, they're just old and it's sad. The sequel doesn't do that. In my
Well, I'm
opinion.
definitely gonna see it as part of my year-end catch-up. I'm just nervous. I just saw the trailer and I'm like, I don't know. I'm just like, oh, jokes about like cryptocurrency and Stormy Daniels. I'm like, fucking hell, man. Like, what are we doing? Just cringy modern jokes that are gonna be dated by next year.
I will say this, from what I remember, I think the Stormy Daniels joke actually doesn't happen until the credits are rolling.
Oh, really?
If I could remember, I could be wrong about that, even though I just saw it last night, but I'm pretty sure that literally was like a throwaway at the very end. So
Yeah, a lot of that stuff's just the throwaway jokes. The actual heart of the movie is there.
yeah,
That's what I'm
and
hoping for.
It's one of those things where I had started it the other night and I just was not in the mood and I didn't want to not like it. But like last night when I hit play, it clicked. I was like, okay, this is funny. Like I wasn't necessarily laughing as much as the first one, but there are jokes that kind of took me a second because again, it's so dry still. Like it's still
Well,
dry.
I've heard they also get some pretty legendary cameos in it.
Yes, they do.
So
They
I'm
do.
interested in that. I've heard there's a scene where Michael McKean fights with Paul McCartney, and I just want to see that.
That's the best
They're
part.
like,
They're in it for the bit. Like, they don't care that people are making fun of them and stuff. So
Yeah.
One of the things they say, they go, he gets here and within 5 minutes he's throwing his weight around.
yeah,
It's Paul McCartney. They're like,
Yeah, see, that sounds like it would be hilarious. But and also I saw them. They all did an interview in character as Spinal Tap, and
Oh,
Rob Reiner was there as Marty DeBerge, and they were on Conan O'Brien's podcast doing an interview. And I was like, okay, well they still got it here, so I have to assume they still had it for the movie. Like they've still got it. You know, they're still funny as these characters. So, but yeah, I'll definitely check that out. But great time, man. I'm glad I finally crossed this one off the list. Like I said, my last kind of golden age Rob Reiner movie that I hadn't seen yet. So, and I was laughing the whole way through. Oh, we haven't even mentioned yet the fucking bitchy girlfriend of Michael McKean,
Yeah.
pissing me off so much the whole time. I was like, the whole movie, I was just like, you gotta go, you gotta get the fuck out of here. You know what I'm saying? June Chadwick is the actress's name. She was fantastic.
he did a really good job. And it's so fucked with the manager being like, I'm not gonna let anyone tell me what to do, much less a fucking.
Yeah,
It's like, oh god,
a really
Just
funny
swinging that
subtle,
paddle around.
a really funny subtle joke with him was the scene with the paddle on his desk, just seeing him swinging around and shit. And then at the very end, she's sitting backstage and he's just standing over her with the paddle. And I'm just like, oh fuck.
I'm the one who's in charge, bitch.
Yep. Now that we have wrapped up this Spinal Tap, shout out. We must move on to the end. And the end, my friends, is the end. And love, marriage, is what brings us together today. And today we talk about The Princess Bride, the great classic film from Mr. Rob Reiner, Mr. Patterson's pick. Take it away, my good sir.
all right. Yeah, this is my choice is the Princess Bride this week. And I will ask you to do what we always ask you to do, which is picture this. You're Fred Savage. You're a little boy. You're a wee lad, and you are sick. And you just want to play your fucking sports video games, man. But no, Grandpa's here. Grandpa being Peter Falk. And he's here to read you a story. And you don't want to hear that story, really. But you know what? Peter Falk is going to make you listen to this fucking story. He is going to strap you down, pause, but not really, and make you listen. So then, I got to do it again. I ask you to again picture this. Your name is Wesley. You're a farm boy. And Jackson froze. You're a farm boy to this fair maiden who is very rich, Robin Wright, who is very fair indeed. And your only desire is to be with her. So what do you do? Huh?
As she wishes.
Yep. You go and you go in search of fortune so you can come back and marry her so you don't feel like such a schlub. And what happens to you? Well, you get got. You get murked. As far as she knows, you get murked by the dread pirate Roberts. And she's sad. And then 5 years later, no less, the king, on the 500th anniversary of the country, decides that he wants to marry her, pretty much. And his name is Prince Humperdinck. And
Humperdinck.
just before he's able to marry her, she is kidnapped by 3 people whose names always get me confused. So I'm just going to go with Wallace Shawn, Mandy Patinkin, and none other than Andre the fucking Giant. And yeah, they run into a masked man who's following them, which turns out to be the dreaded Dread Pyro Roberts. And he's after them to, to get the girl, save the girl. And yeah, there's a lot to go into this movie. I don't know if we want me to spoil it or not, but as it turns out, yeah, we're gonna anyways. As it turns out, when he captures her or gets her, that it's not just the Dread Pirate Roberts, but it is Wesley who has taken on the name, and as they find out, constantly moves on names and people, like kind of like Zorro. Really, and yeah, he and his new friends, Indigo Montoya, who is here to kill the Six-Fingered Man, played by none other than Christopher Guest, playing the coldest motherfucker.
The biggest
out of all
bitch in the
three
country.
he goes from playing a doctor, a military doctor, who's just a chill military doctor who you believe is a military doctor, to a fucking rock star, to the baddest villain, or the most annoying, at least, pretentious shithead villain to exist. Honestly, he was better than Prince Humperdinck. Humperdinck was just annoying. He was like, yeah, you're a little wimp, but we'll get into it. Anyways, they go through a bunch of trials and tribulations, all while Fred Savage is trying to figure this out himself, and he's got his own comments that he likes to drop in on the story. But yeah, it's a wild adventure. Like other Rob Reiner movies that we've discussed, he's not doing the same thing. However, I will say this one does have a very similar dry wit to Spinal Tap, where you're like not sure whether to laugh or take it seriously, because one moment he's doing a legit fairy tale story, and then the next there's just Wallace Shawn debating on whether or not to switch the wine, or Billy Crystal popping up, of course, is another great cameo.
And Carol Kane.
Carol Kane. One of the lines I'm definitely going to start using is, "Have fun storming the castle."
I'm thinking of when Andre just takes that giant rock and knocks him over the head. That scene was really funny.
Andre is so funny in this movie. I kind of wish he was in more, but I mean, the movie does that. But then also, in the end, when Mandy Patinkin and Christopher Guest are fighting, and he gets up and he starts just saying he repeats the line like 8,000 times as they're fighting. I was like, kill this man, like, let's go.
Yeah.
So it goes between just like super silly humor to like actually being super invested in the story, which is like super hard to do. I cannot think of another movie that is quite like it in a sense. And the frame story is great. Written by William Goldman, who is one of the GOAT writers of all time, R.I.P. Yeah, he kills it. Based on his book, of course, and I'm pretty sure I could be wrong, but I don't think in the book the grandfather and the son are in it. I could be wrong about that because I haven't read it, but I'm 90% sure the book is just the actual book they're reading. And he was like, I don't know how to make this into a movie, so he just threw that in there, but I could be wrong.
And that's one of the most iconic parts of the movie.
It is. That's why I was like, yeah. And I feel like that one's been parodied a lot too, like the whole I'm reading you a story. Deadpool.
I read
Deadpool did it, yeah.
like I did it a
Well,
lot.
Matt, I just have one question before we talk about this movie. Is this a kissing movie? 'Cause that's kind of gross. I don't know if I want to watch a kissing movie.
No, no, it's got murder and revenge and true love.
Okay, I guess so.
But yeah, I mean, I'll let you guys take it over. I love it. I actually didn't like it a lot as a kid when I first saw it because I didn't understand I was like again confused to the point where I was like, is this a comedy or not? And even the jokes, I don't think I quite understood because they were too subtle, I think. So I kind of just took it seriously. But I watched it because of Andre the Giant. So that's why I saw it as a kid. And I finally saw it in like high school and I was like, I get it more. And then I saw it last year when I got it on Criterion and I was like, okay, I get it now. Oh yeah, Sam, you'd be pissed. They actually have Rob Reiner reading the audiobook to the Princess Bride on it.
Oh, I'm jealous as fuck too. Wow.
Yeah. But I'll let open to the floor.
My mom absolutely loves this movie, so I watched it a lot as a kid, and it just was completely transformative and was just always a very fun time. I did the kid thing where like you see your parents laughing and you think something's funny. So I always never understood the whole Miracle Max stuff and why like a lot of that stuff was really funny and the way they bicker and all that kind of stuff. And it's been probably a decade since I've seen it at this point, and now I have this whole new complete appreciation for it, specifically because of composer Mark Knopfler. The way he attaches physical movement to the score, and like when they're like knocking on the door, it's like the beats of the music are going, and like when was trying to slam through the door to get to Christopher Guest, like the music was like playing to each hit and everything, and it's hard not to just fall in love with so much that's going on, and like every character has such personality and warmth, and I really fucking love this goddamn movie. I think it's just as I said with A Few Good Men, you just start a movie and you're like, I'm in for something great. So
Yeah, this was my second time seeing this. The first time was a very long time ago, like well over a decade ago, so it had been a minute. Despite that, I remembered this movie very well. It's not often that it's been that long since you've seen a movie and you remember it, but this movie stays in your memory for a very long time because it's got a lot of staying power. And god damn, this is a fucking god tier movie. I mean, just absolutely just goated fucking movie. I don't know how anyone could hate this. This is one of those movies where I'm just like, if you don't like this, I don't trust you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're up to something. Because fucking hell, what a wonderful, incredible, well-made, delightful, funny, romantic, just all-around well-made movie. It's like, when Harry Met Sally and A Few Good Men and so many of Rob Reiner's other movies, I'm like, I got no notes on this one, man. It's just like you said, Matt, one of its strengths is the fact that it walks that line between fantasy, romance, and comedy so well, where it's like it is taking itself seriously, but it's also really goddamn funny at the same time, and is like almost kind of like a spoof of a fantasy movie, but it is a fantasy movie at the same time, and I don't know, it's very unique in that way, and it makes it really funny, and the characters are all so like interesting and likable for the most part. Obviously the villains aren't, but even then they're great characters, so you're invested in them in that sense. And yeah, man, I'll never forget watching this for the first time and just being floored by the end. And then this time I'm like, yep, it's as good as I remember. Like, you're rooting for Wesley and Buttercup the whole way through. You're kind of like the grandson, you're just like, oh god, I hope they get together, and all that good stuff. And yeah, so many funny moments, like Billy Crystal as Miracle Max is one of my favorite parts of the fucking movie. And Carol Kane as his wife coming out and yelling at him was fucking hilarious. And yeah, just so many. Yeah, I guess that's just my off the top thoughts. But what can you say? It's Rob Reiner tackling yet another genre with complete and utter expertise. And I know we've touched on it already, but like, it's got to be said every time. Like, it's amazing how bro could just like absolutely kill it in one genre, hop to a completely different one, and then absolutely kill it over there. You know, like the one he'd made before this was Stand By Me, completely different movie. Yeah. And then the one he made after this was When Harry Met Sally, completely different movie. He fucking murdered all three of them, like with the same skill level. It's just like who does that? Literally, like in every genre, bro covered every genre and murdered it every time. And yeah, just all time. A great script from William Goldman as well. Shout out to the fucking late great William Goldman.
Well, something that I, as a kid, would quote all the time was Miracle Max saying, "Nearly dead. He's nearly dead." And just the way his like body was all limp, and they had to like move him around. Sometimes me and my brother would like when we were doing our crazy backyard battles. Sometimes we'll pretend to come back to life, but act like that. And it's the writing is just on fucking point the whole time. As you pointed, Jackson, like we are the kid. Like not many movies can really transport you to that kind of feeling and take you on a ride that is apprehensive at first. So, and a great movie to watch while if you're sick, because he's sick too. So
very true. And they also, I just like Carrie Elwes. I don't care what he does. This is how I'm always going to see him. Like he can do anything. It's funny though, because like you'd think he would have gotten offered more like romantic leading man parts. I don't know why he transitioned to mainly playing like weasels and creeps. Like it seems like that's like in Saw. Yeah, like that was the only movie that kind of almost changed how I saw him from The Princess Bride, but I'm like, nah, you're the Dread Pirate Roberts. I'm sorry, dog. But yeah, so many times he just plays weasels and creeps now, and I'm just like, how did he, like, what happened there in his career where he made that transition? Robin Wright, in her film debut, nonetheless, is amazing in this. Chris Sarandon, my preferred Sarandon, is very hateable as Prince Humperdinck. And yeah, Andre the Giant, Wallace Shawn, Mandy Patinkin, like all just fucking amazing. Just
we say inconceivable at work all the
time. There's so many fucking. This movie is so quotable. There's so many lines I say to this day all the time. That and then him saying, "You keep using that word. I do not think it means what you think it means."
That's the thing. It's also Mandy Patinkin. He is like one of those guys where I've always seen him as when he's older and doing like more distinguished roles. And when seeing him younger like this and being fucking hilarious, it's like, damn, I don't know if he was in more comedies, but I want to see those if he was.
See it fuck too. So,
but
he was sexy as fuck too when he was younger.
Yeah, damn straight. But yeah, he was great. And Miracle Max, yeah, Sam, I also quote the Mostly Dead. I also always do just, I've seen worse. I'm just lifting his arm up. I've seen worse.
It's funny, too, about Billy Crystal and that is like literally under all the makeup, doesn't matter. It takes you 2 seconds to realize it's him. Like, literally, you hear his voice and you're like, oh, that's Billy Crystal.
I remember the first time watching it, I was like, oh, that's Billy Crystal. I just knew him for his voice. Yep. That's Mike Wazowski. But yeah, it's just, what can you say? It's just fantastic. I mean,
the siege scene scared me as a kid when they light Andre on fire and he's on the like cross. I mean, that shit's, he has such an intense, powerful, deep voice. So
yeah, it's funny because I remember watching this. I had no idea who Andre the Giant was, and then I remember like looking him up afterwards and just being like, oh, okay, he was like a super famous wrestler who didn't really get that many movie roles. So, and I kind of wish he had gotten more because, you know, he was fucking great in this. And I read apparently everybody, I've read numerous stories that say that this was like a very great set to be on. It was very harmonious, and apparently Andre the Giant was like, you know, very happy working on the movie. He said everybody treated him like an equal instead of looking at him like he was weird because of his size and everything. So there's a story I read that apparently it was raining one day on set. And this motherfucker used his hand to cover Robin Wright's head so she wouldn't get wet. Like his hand was that big, he could do that.
Oh no, this man. There are stories of him drinking entire cases of wine before wrestling and not looking drunk or inebriated or throwing up because he was just that. Like his body could do that.
There was that legendary story about him drinking, what was it, like 48 beers or something like that? Like, and I don't, it was like some fucking crazy number where he just like drank like more than any human being should be able to drink in like one sitting or something.
Yeah. Now he was.
I think him
he
and
was
Stone
kinda
Cold
nuts.
Steve Austin put back the most together.
I don't think Stone Cold was around during Andre's time,
True.
unless he was really young. But before he was truly Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yeah.
But anyways, to get back to the movie though, I don't know. This movie was like, I can't wait to watch it again because, like you said, Jackson, I'm thinking I might use it as a litmus test when I meet new people. It's like, all right, are you really cool? I'm gonna put this on and see if you like it. Especially if they hadn't seen it.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like this movie people have seen, even if they don't think they have. It's like you've probably seen this on TV as a kid. You just don't remember it. Like somebody's had to have shown you this at one point in your life.
Or you know the quotes, you know a lot of the scenes, you know what it is, even if you haven't seen it all the way through.
Yeah. It's like the rodent scene, and then the scene where she is in the water, and that freaking like sea serpent comes up to her. I was like, they took this movie, like we were saying, like they take it dead ass seriously. Nothing was,
Yeah, then you get something like when he's trying to climb up the rope and Mandy's like, "Oh, I'm not gonna like hurt you. I'm just gonna let you come up here and like I want this to be an equal fight." It's like it's a serious but very comedic thing at the same time. It's just so crazy that you can find that balance.
And I like how they set him up to be the bad guys in the beginning, but then each time he encounters the two other guys, that's not Wallace Shawn, obviously. They actually have very equal like conversations. He's like, "Hey, I'm gonna kill you, but I'm not gonna hurt you." And they're like, they're very, like Andre the Giant even said, he's like, "I missed on purpose because that's not sportsmanlike," And I was like, at least these guys have respect for each other. And then Wallace Shawn's just sniveling, conniving. Like the fucking line he says was, I can't remember the exact wording of it, but he was like, "There's two things you don't do in life. One is get into like a land dispute in Asia, and the other one is don't mess with a Sicilian when death is on the line."
That killed me, yeah. It's just such a random line. I remember the first time watching this, Wallace Shawn was one of my favorite parts, and that was also true this time. That whole scene with the goblets is one of my favorite parts of the whole movie, where he just keeps on going. But
Even when Carrie always is like, "Are you having fun?" And he's like, "Oh, you think I'm just getting started, but really I haven't begun yet."
You want to talk about a jump scare? The first time I saw it, I had no idea he was going to be in the movie, and then when he showed up, I was like, "What the fuck?" Again, just like knowing his voice, I was like, "Wow, didn't know he was in this." And now this is like his, other than Toy Story, this is like the thing I always think of when I think of him. So it's true for most actors in this movie.
Yeah, we have multiple Mission Impossible people this episode.
Yeah, we do. We have multiple. I'll tell you something. Cary Elwes, man, he snuck his way into the Hall of Fame. I didn't realize that this is his fourth time on the show.
Yeah.
He was in The Cat's Meow, New Year's Eve, and Bram Stoker's Dracula, and now this is his fourth time. Yeah. Right? Like, I didn't realize that either. I'm like, 4 times he's been on? He kind of snuck in there.
That's fun.
Oh, yeah.
All very different parts, I must add.
I was going to say.
Got a lot of range. But, yeah, literally, this is one of the most delightful movies ever made. I do not know, like, I'm not saying I've even heard anybody say this, but if I were ever to meet somebody who didn't like this movie, Matt, it would kind of be like your review for Happy Gilmore 2. I'm just like, just go the other way, man. Just don't even talk. Just don't come up to me. Keep it to yourself.
Yep.
I don't fucking trust you.
Yeah. And I'm really glad that we got to watch all of these, though, because, like, I'm also starting to think, is Christopher Guest really in every Rob Reiner movie and I just haven't noticed?
I think so, because I swear to you, because like Cuba Gooding Jr., I'm sure I noticed before in A Few Good Men. I did not know that Christopher Guest was in that movie until I saw it this time. I didn't know, and I'm just like, what? How? When? Since when? So I think you might be right. I'm like, I think
he's not in When Harry Met Sally.
Oh, good.
Unless if he's like on the,
I was
unless if
gonna
for
say,
some reason he does a voice role on a phone or like
Or
on
he's
a
like
TV
an extra in the background or something like that.
Yeah, but I feel like that would be kind of noted. People would be like, "Oh, Christopher Guest is right here," at this
Yeah.
point in time. So I don't think he's in. I think it
Billy
would be funny.
Crystal is also in most of them, not all of them, but most of them. But
Because I don't think he's in Bucket List, but he could be. I haven't seen
and
the
he's not
Bucket
in A
List.
Few Good Men.
No, I meant
Christopher Guest, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's not in Stand By Me, as far as I know.
Okay, we've actually covered all of the movies he was in with him.
But we just got lucky. That's
Just,
fine.
just those, just okay.
Spinal
Okay.
Tap 2, which we talked about a little bit. I'm not seeing anything else.
Christopher, well,
Nope.
hey, he entered the Hall of Fame in one episode because he
Yeah.
was in all 3 movies. And I'll say it again, he's a fucking chameleon. Like,
Oh, we're
legit-
gonna bring him back. I'll probably choose Best in Show or Waiting for Guffman at some point.
I've been wanting to pick one of his movies for so long on the show, but none of them are on streaming.
I've got all 3 on DVD just because they're that like I had to do the same. I had to go to McKay's to buy them before I worked there. But
The only movie that he's directed that I've seen is Waiting for Guffman, and it's been a long time, so I'd like to see it. I'd like to see it again.
Yeah.
And I really want to see Best in Show and The Mighty Wind and all the other ones, but yeah. So I guess, do we have any final thoughts on The Princess Bride?
Perfection of the utmost. And it really fucking hurts me every time watching them jump out of that window and land on the horse. Like, your crotches must have been fucking in pain.
Mm-hmm.
you know how they say in movies there's actually no happy endings, it's just where you end the story? Yeah, I'm pretty sure Fred Savage died the next day.
He had cancer.
Yeah.
That's exactly what happened. No, the true story, honestly, is the next day Fred Savage groped a costume designer and got sued for it. But yeah, so
I think there's an age limit before you get sued.
apparently not in his case.
Wait, did he really actually do that on this movie?
No, on the Wonder Years he did that.
When he was still young, though?
Yeah,
This young?
I mean, like, still a kid. I think he was a
Well-
teenager by then, but
I was about to say, I'm trying to figure out if this was like malicious or if he's just. And
no,
was it
he
Peter-
has a long history of like groping people. So
Then why is he still around? I'm surprised.
because he did a show called The Grinder, and he got fired from that for groping a costume designer as well.
Wow.
And he was a producer on the Wonder Years reboot with Don Cheadle, and he got fired from that for sexual misconduct allegations. So
Groping a costume design, like does he?
something, yeah, it's always the costume designer he's going after. So
Well, that's what I'm wondering. I'm like, no, I'm being funny here. I'm not trying to like defend him. I'm just like,
Oh,
I was
I
like,
know.
hey, if you're gonna grope me, it's gonna go both ways, pal.
just so you know.
Yeah,
We can all
for
just,
chat.
Tiffy-
let's just say Fred's a savage. So
He is true. Also, Peter Falk returning from Mikey and Nikki, his second appearance
Yes.
on the show.
Uh-huh.
Who's so great. Again, so like almost every actor in the movie, this is what I think of when I think of them. This is always how I've seen Peter Falk, is just,
Wallace
That's
Shawn
very
returned
cool.
from Southland as well.
So what? Yeah, Wallace Shawn from Southland Tales. Once again, playing a diabolical, evil bastard.
Maybe that's why he cast him in Southland Tales. He was like,
I see.
Yes. Wallace Shawn always brings the goods, no matter what movie he's in.
Toy Story represent.
Say what?
Toy Story represent.
Yes, absolutely. But yeah, so I think now that we've come to the end of our Rob Reiner special, we must now take a minute to pay tribute to the man himself. I'll just go ahead and start by saying he was a legend in many different ways, both as a director and as an actor. We cannot forget All in the Family, one of the most iconic shows of all time. He was a big part of that. He was so goddamn funny in The Wolf of Wall Street. I mean, just like, of all his acting roles, that's my favorite. His fucking Mad Max scene where he's yelling at the guy on the phone is one of the funniest scenes in any movie ever. And the scene where he's arguing with Jonah Hill, just like, fucking, it's fucking $40,000 for one fucking dinner. It's just like fucking hilarious. Such a great actor, such a great director. The fucking generational classics that he directed, like any of them, like to have one of those movies in your filmography would be like, for most directors it'd be like, oh, that's their best movie by far. He had like 6 of those. You know what I mean? Like, not just iconic movies, not just great movies, but generational fucking classics. Like A Few Good Men, Spinal Tap, Princess Bride, Stand By Me, Misery, fucking When Harry Met Sally. Like, goddamn. Like, to have
Gotta run
all
like
of those. To have all of, and I'll throw the American President in there for extra credit. Like, you know, like to have all of those in your fucking filmography is just.
Bucket List 2 is a really goddamn good movie.
I still want to see
Yeah,
that
it
one.
is.
Yeah, that's.
I remember
an,
seeing that as a kid, thinking it was going to be like, oh, this is like a serious old person movie, and then really enjoying the shit out of it.
Yeah, that's one I've always heard great things about. But yeah, so there's that, and then there's the fact that, like we said, he was very versatile. I think he's one of the all-time greats. I really think that, you know, he hasn't been talked about enough in that conversation in the past, and I think it's time we start fucking acknowledging it. And, you know, it's special for me because, as I've said before, I didn't really start getting into, like, you know, going back and watching, you know, older films and stuff like that until I was in, like, my early teens and stuff. And, you know, Rob Reiner was one of the first directors I got into. Like, you know, A Few Good Men, Princess Bride, and Misery were, like, 3 of the, like, earliest ones that were, like, on that journey. And so they're all kind of special to me in that sense. I'll never forget watching Princess Bride for the first time and just being like, God damn, what a movie. You know, that always had kind of special place in my heart as one of those experiences you just remember watching it for the first time. So, yeah, just shout out to him. Fucking legend. It's tragic what happened to him, and, you know, but we'll always remember him.
He was a god amongst men. And I think every time I see his face, I feel comforted, so.
Yeah. I don't know. He was one of those directors that was on the in Northlake, I think. They had him on the wall. And I remember as a kid, I was always like, I knew the other directors, and him, I'd be like, I know you, but like, I don't, like, why are you on the wall? You know what I mean? And now I know why he's on the wall.
Yeah.
Man deserves to be on that wall.
For sure.
I feel like I should start doing the Few Good Men.
You want me on that wall. You need me on that wall.
But yeah, no, he's really the GOAT. Like, I don't know, and I, like you said, Jackson, I feel like he should have been talked a lot more in that realm before he died, like gotten those accolades, but he didn't really care about those because he knew he's got, you know, it's kind of hard to care when you're like, you know, just point to your movies and be like,
Yeah.
and then walk away. But also, he was just such a funny guy, like in real life. Like we were talking about his acting roles. Like, honestly, Sleepless in Seattle was one of those I was shocked, like, to see him in it because I didn't know he was going to be in it, and then him just being hilarious every step of the way. And I'm like, yeah, you know, you could do it all, really. But,
there wasn't a doubt in my mind that we would all not be 3 for 3 this week. Like,
oh, no.
This is one of the most, like, 3 for 3s I've ever been, is this episode, and I knew that was going to be the case.
Yeah. Because we didn't pick any of his, like, because, like, I don't know if we'd picked Story of Us.
I love that movie so
I
much.
haven't seen it, so yeah.
One day I might pick Rumor Has It just because Jennifer Aniston's in
Rumor
it.
has it.
And see, I wanted to pick The Magic of Belle Isle, but that's because I saw it when I was doing my senior exit project, just halfway watching it, smoking weed, and I was like, this is actually a good movie.
Apparently, his movie Flipped has a big cult following now.
Heard?
I don't know anything about it, but apparently, like, it's got a passionate, like, fan base to it. So,
Okay.
but yeah, just what a fucking legend. R.I.P. I mean, you know, it's sad to lose him, but it's great to go back and revisit his work. And, you know, I also kind of want to rewatch Misery now in my spare time, just because I haven't seen that one in a long time either, and that's one that I think I need to revisit because, god damn, what a movie!
I mean, Stand By Me is one of those movies I've seen like 8 million times, and it's like, you know.
Stand By Me was one I remember when I finished it. I was just like, how is this motherfucker so good at what he does? Like, fuck, like, genuinely, like, fuck. So, and I've said it before, we had When Harry Met Sally on the show already. That's a perfect movie. I mean, it's rare that I say that, but that is a fucking perfect movie. Like, seriously. So, but yes, RIP to the GOAT. And thank you all for tuning in to yet another episode of 3 for 3. We hope that you enjoyed this episode. We hope that you will stick with us for the rest of the year. Like, comment, subscribe, vote in the polls. Do all that good shit. And we'll see you next time. Take care, everybody.